Welcome back to our conversation with Boston City Councilor and mayoral candidate Andrea Campbell. Councilor, you've been an active proponent of police reform. If you're elected, would you want to keep on the current Boston Police Commissioner, Willie Gross?
Well, I will say I have a good relationship with the commissioner, and I respect the fact that he is the first African-American to serve in that role. He has a tremendously difficult and challenging job. And we may not agree on every issue, but what I do is push him and others to say this is not about individual officers not doing a good job. This is about reforming a system and a policing department in such a way that it is more transparent, more accountable, and more diverse. And I've put out action plans and various proposals to do that. And my goal is to work in partnership with him and the administration to make that happen.
You've been, for some time, a proponent of a civilian review board. We have had some form of that. What's wrong with the status quo there, and how would your proposal make it work where, in your view, it doesn't now?
Well, the current co-op panel, many have been deemed it ineffective, including folks who have served on it in the past. It doesn't create true accountability. And so the Civilian Review Board proposal and ordinance that's before the council has been a topic of discussion for decades. The St. Clair report, my predecessor on the council has pushed for this. But now we're in a moment in time where people are demanding greater accountability. And so I am confident that we can get this Civilian Review Board ordinance passed, and it will create greater accountability where it allows folks who have been wronged in some way to file a complaint before a body. It is an apparatus that will be truly independent from the police department, be resourced. It also will allow officers to come forward with any complaints they have about what we can do better. And it will also push for greater transparency with the release of information and data in real time to allow this department to be more transparent and accountable, and of course, more just.
Councilor, I want to take our last couple of minutes to talk about a real bottom line issue that's facing not just Boston, but every city and town across the state. They're all facing a grim financial situation with the collapse of tax revenues due to the pandemic. Gridlock in D.C. over additional federal aid isn't helping the situation. It's unclear if the state will be able to continue to hold the line on local aid, which is a crucial revenue flow. If you were mayor right now, what would you do to avoid or minimize the cuts in government payrolls and services that seem inevitable now?
Well, I'll say first and foremost, I haven't forgotten we're in the midst of a pandemic. And so I think, we went recently back into the red. So it's reminding folks to take care of themselves. And the sooner we get the pandemic under control, the better the economic outlook looks, right? I think everyone is already sort of preparing to go into a recession, but there are some businesses and many folks in the business community that are doing quite well, banks that are doing okay. And so how do we work with the private sector, with philanthropy, with our state and federal partners to ensure that our recovery here in the city of Boston is equitable? But I think we have to first and foremost get the pandemic under control, and that will be a way in which to stem sort of any negative impact in terms of our economy. But it's not lost on me that people have lost their jobs. There's a lot we can do to create jobs in this new virtual reality. It's also not lost on me that people are in fear of losing their homes. We are putting forth some creative ideas and legislation to keep people in their homes. So I think with a collective effort, we can make sure that everyone does okay across the entire city of Boston.
Councilor, if people want to find out more about you and your candidacy, how can they do that?
AndreaCampbell.org.
Well, we just scratched the surface today, but we'll look forward to talking with you as this campaign unfolds. Thank you so much for your time today, and good luck.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
And thank you all for joining us. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to my colleagues for more WBZ News.